Hey guys, this is going to be another unscripted video. It's going to be a little bit different though. I'm going to be talking about the myth of Sisyphus in the most layman and basic terms. Just explaining it from what I remember and everything like that. So here we go. The myth of Sisyphus, at least this rendition, is from this French philosopher from like the 40s. His name's Albert Camus. And Camus has this whole philosophy of it's called absurdism, and it just goes about the craziness of just life. Life's absurd, and life's absurd for lots of reasons, whether it's why people die or why this thing happens. Life can be crazy, and the absurd is something that comes from how infinite and ungiving of an answer life actually is, and humans questioning that there's a definitive answer when in reality the universe does not have one. And this absurdism rises from that. And one of the stories he tells is the story of Sisyphus. And Sisyphus is this Greek god, and he starts pissing off Zeus and them, and it might not even be Zeus, just he starts pissing off the gods. And basically what happens is, like, we've had enough of your shit, Sisyphus, alright? You're gonna take this heavy boulder, you're gonna push it up this mountain forever. And then when you bring it to the top, it's gonna fall down. And Sisyphus is in this hell, essentially, of just pushing this boulder up a hill forever and ever for it to fall down, which anything he does has no meaning. It's futile. He's forced to do this task that the gods gave to him, and as a torture, as a punishment. But Sisyphus isn't like that. He says, well, the gods want me to hate it, so what am I going to do? So what Sisyphus does is he'll happily push this rock up the hill. He doesn't care. And he scorns life. He scorns back. He accepts the fact that what he's doing is meaningless, but he does it nonetheless happily. And it is a metaphor for absurdism, where you search for this meaning that necessarily isn't there. And the whole thing is, life gives you a meaning based on what you give it. There's no definitive meaning of life. But Camus does bring up the biggest question in philosophy, and that's suicide. And Camus is not a fan of suicide. There are two different types of suicide in Camus' book, and it's actual suicide, which is you admit that the life is so absurd that you can't live with it, that there's no meaning, so you kill yourself, literally. But then there's this philosophical suicide, where you go for easy solutions or anything that takes your mind off of what life is not giving you, such as religion and accepting the easy answers into that, or whether it's taking drugs and alcohol to stop your mind from thinking about how absurd life is, and then consumerism of just buying everything to make yourself feel good and not think about the harsh reality of life. And Camus brings it back to say you shouldn't try to accept that there's a meaning to life definitively, and you should make your own meaning to life. And I think that's very important, not to just give in to an easy answer. And I'm not saying you can't be religious, because Camus was a atheist, and he said life's so absurd, and there can't be a God. Just definitively, there's no God. But if life is so absurd, couldn't there be a chance of a God? And there could be a chance there's not a God. So it's a toss-up. No one actually knows whether God is real or not. And from Camus' theory of life being absurd, there very much well could be. So you have to remember not to give in to these easy answers or anything of the sort of blocking it out. You have to scorn life on how futile it is. Life says there's no meaning, but you have to go back to life and say, hey, universe, I'm giving it my meaning. The meaning of life is what I give it. And you're actively fighting against the absurdity of life and what it is. And this is not nowhere near a in-depth video about absurdism, but I was gonna make another video about being overwhelmed and being so busy that you're getting upset by it, that it's actually affecting you. And it ended up bringing Sisyphus up into it, and I decided, well, if I'm gonna unscript something, the least I can do is something that I at least studied junior year when I was really into Camus. And so it's not a definitive guide. I might have gotten some things a little out of whack, but This is just a layman's, easy to understand type of video. So I hope you enjoyed it. There's plenty more absurdism. I might make a longer video in depth into that. It might be a little bit different compared to my videos now, but I don't know about that yet. I still like making these short-term talk videos. This is just a little slice of it. So if you like it, let me know. I can go more into different philosophers or anything like that. But life is absurd, and you shouldn't just give in to how absurd it is. You need to scorn it and make meaning of your own life, unlike the desolate answer of the universe. You can't just give up, and you have to try not to fall into these suicides, especially literally. But yeah, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoy. Hopefully I'll get this out soon. It's like 6 a.m. now. See you later. Stay safe, you little rascals.